Yeah.
That's wonderful, ma'am. Now, ma'am, you mentioned earlier that you were a rebel. Are you still a rebel? And if yes, what does this term rebel mean? Like, what is it actually? Even I was a little rebel most of the time.
Yeah. Yes, I have always, I think I was an activist by nature. And I'm trying to tone myself down and say, I don't have to correct everybody. That is my sanity prayer to the God, that God release me from this urge to, correct everybody. I don't want to do that. So I will give you a couple of examples. So when it came to, I come from a family of engineers. My great grandfather was an engineer. My grandfather is an engineer. My uncles, cousins, siblings are all engineers. My father took up pure sciences and he went into agriculture. And I'm the only one who has done arts and got into journalism. Everybody around me is a science student and is an engineer. Right? So that was the first thing of, no, I don't want to do science. I will do psychology. I wanted to, in fact, pursue psychology later in life because that is what I wanted to do. And my mother had rightly said, psychology, you can always study and gain, but back then the career options were not this good for psychology. Now clinical psychology and counseling are really flourishing. Back then it wasn't. I could at best be a lecturer or possibly work in a school. Right. So she was the one who actually suggested, she said, maybe you should look at journalism and see if you want to do that. So that was the first act of rebellion. I didn't fall in line, right? Everybody else decided to follow what my grandfather did. I didn't fall in line. And I guess I got that streak from my father, who also refused to fall in line. He chose to do BSc. Later on, I always had this thing about when it came to choosing my own life partner, I did not conform to the convention. Yeah, so I'm married to a Muslim. So it's been 27 years now since we got married. And that was the second act of rebellion, right? So that's what I meant by I didn't really go with the flow in the society. To some extent, I've always swam against the tide and stood my own. And that is also thanks to my parents and my in-laws who stood by us. They had our back. So they said, okay, you have decided, you will. That's all my father told me when I told him I want to marry my husband, Anish. So he said, yeah, it's very good, but don't come back. You can't walk away from it once you've committed. So yeah. So that was another thing. And starting a school, I wouldn't call it a rebellious thing, but I think it's more activism, right? I wanted to start the center to create a happy space for children with different needs, where parents won't be taxed. In Bangalore, special education is a very expensive affair. Very, very expensive. So I wanted to create a space where parents are not taxed. And we'll have a small setup where a small group of people will have deeper impact. I wouldn't call it an act of rebellion, but it is an activist in me, I guess. That's what I meant by that. And I've had my fair share of fights. I'm highly opinionated, so I still have severe arguments with my colleagues in Deccan Herald, with my friends. And now I've become a little wiser and I let it go. I don't try to convince everybody. Yeah.
That's
That's
really
how it
nice.
is.
And I like the way you said that, like, I let it go. Certain things we
Yeah.
have to just let it go or let it flow. Would you like to share something else which I didn't touch upon? Like maybe I skipped out some particular incident or part, or maybe some other question which has to be focused on. If I've left out something, you could still share that and then we can sum up the session.
I think I've spoken quite a bit. I love talking, and you gave me a space to talk without interrupting me. So thank you.
How sweet of you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Stay connected and stay blessed.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So dear friends, with this we come to an end today to the International Fab Talks. We'd love you to share this video with the right kind of people. You never know who may be inspired by what was being shared or who would understand life by what was being shared today. You have to understand life in order to enjoy it, in order to live it to the fullest. And Shashikala ma'am has shared her journey with us in a genuine way. We look for people who share it in a genuine way. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to the International Fab Talks. Above all, love yourself, prioritize yourself. Begin to respect yourself, people around you, give them importance, and the right kind of people should be entertained in our lives. With this, we'd like to sign off now. Don't forget to take care of the environment as well. Stay connected and stay blessed. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Stay connected.